On 30th January 1948, when Mahatma Gandhi passed away, the first Prime Minister of India, Shri Nehru, remarked that light has gone out of our lives. A few days back, when the legendary singer Lata Mangeshkar passed away, the whole country must have got the same feeling that was the one on 30th of January 1948. Mr. Taj Qureshi, who used to be Lata Mangeshkar's tailor, he recalls that Lataji would often address him by the name Bhaiya, and he would always wonder how come such a legendary singer could have so much of humility and could be so much grounded. We have heard so much about Lataji in the last few days, but I think there are three or four distinguishing features in this great journey of Lata Mangeshkar's that I would like to recall. The first that comes to my mind is the resilience and determination of Lata Mangeshkar. As we all know, Lataji lost her father when she was only 12, and her father, Shri Dinanath Mangeshkar, was a playwright, a poet, and a music director. And with this sudden death, she being the eldest child in the family, she had three sisters and a younger brother, along with a widowed mother to take care of. And just imagine, she had to sacrifice the proper education that she would have followed, and she took up to singing and learned the ropes against all the odds. The second thing that comes to my mind is the emergence of Lataji as a legendary singer was almost parallel to India gaining independence. And just imagine how much good Lataji's singing did to a country which was just coming out of the agony of partition with so much of violence and so much of communal frenzy. And in a way, Lataji's music was like a most soothing balm for a nation which was actually taking care of the bruises of partition. Another thing that comes to my mind in this regard is that because Lataji became an icon in India, but at the same time, she became equally popular in Pakistan also. And therefore, post-partition, some of the communal tension between the two countries must have been neutralized by the beauty of Lataji's singing. Another thing that comes to my mind is the versatility of Lata Mangeshkar as a singer. As we all know, in a lifespan, in a singing life of more than 80 years, Lataji sang more than 25,000 songs in 36 languages. And when I say 36 languages, she must have sung in all the Indian languages. So just imagine a country which says, Anekata mein ekata ye hind ki visheshata. Can there be a better example of somebody uniting India in such a way wherein the singer goes and sings in all the languages of this great country called India? Now, just look at the journey that Lataji took. She started singing when she was only 13, and you would be surprised to know that she sang her first song, the filmy song, in 1946. And the last she sang was for Rang De Basanti, Luka Chipi song. So 60 years of continuous, singing for the Indian films. And other than that, the first time she sang was in 1942, and the last time that she sang was in 2019 when she came out with the famous poem of Prasoon Joshi's, which our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi is very fond of, which is है कसम मुझे इस मिट्टी की मैं देश नहीं झुकने दूंगा, and all that. So the point that I'm trying to drive home is that there is a legend who sang for 80 long years, and in his journey, doesn't it look very interesting that she sang for Madhubala, then she sang for Jaya Bhaduri, she sang for Hema Malini, she sang for Rekha, she sang for Madhuri Dixit, she sang for Preeti Zinta, and she sang for a young girl who came in Maine Pyar Kiya, the girl who was only 20 years old. And just imagine Lata ji singing for an actress who's only 20 years old, and the song was Dil Deewana Bin Sajna Ke Mane Na. And now this young girl, Bhagyashri, she's only 20 years of age, and for her, Lata ji, who's already 60 years of age, is singing. So just look at the versatility of a genius. And it is because of this versatility that Lata ji could come out with, that we find that there was an era in 1950s and 60s and even 70s and till mid 80s that actresses would actually insist that Lata ji should sing songs in their movies because that would give them an assurance of success. Other than this, a very important aspect that I would like to share with you is Lata ji's strength of raising voice when due. So we all remember I believe in 50s or maybe early 60s, Lata ji was the first singer who said that singers should be not only paid when they sing a song in a one-time payment, but they should also be assured of royalty for the songs. And I remember there are many articles which say that at that time there were two groups wherein the legendary singer Mohammed Rafi was in the other, in the other section of singers who were of the view that this voice is not well raised. But now I think that the kind of songs sung by Lata ji, we even now celebrate her songs that she sung in 1950s or 60s or 70s. So why should a singer be not paid royalty for a song which remains relevant for nearly more than half a century or maybe more? So I think that also spoke about the strength that Lata ji exhibited as a person. Now, no story about Lata ji can be complete without a few legends that are associated with her. The first that comes to my mind is the typical, and it has been narrated so many times that Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, when Lata ji actually did a rendition of "Ae Mere Watan Ke Logo" in front of him, he started weeping. And it has been reported in many articles that Nehru ji was such a strong person that he would normally have emotions in check. But then there lies the strength of this great singer, that she made the Prime Minister weep for a few moments. Other than this, I think the grandstanding of Lata Mangeshkar is associated with the 1974 concert in London at the Albert Hall, where Michael Foot, who was a very senior Labour Party leader of the UK, he referred to Lata as the voice of India. And in the same program, Dilip Kumar, who used to call Lata a younger sister, he referred to Lata as Kudrat ka Karishma. And I think last but not the least, Bade Ghulam Ali Sahib, who used to be Lata ji's guru, he once remarked that कमबख्त कभी भी बेसुरी नहीं होती, ये तो अल्लाह की देन है. So that was probably the best compliment a student could get from a teacher. So there are innumerable stories linked with this wonderful journey that Lata ji had, and more than anything else, she was the biggest icon of national integration. And as Prasoon Joshi, the great poet, has mentioned, he says that deaths should never always be taken as, things leading to sadness. Often deaths actually are the symbols of culmination of a brilliant life, very, very well and very, very comprehensively lived. Lata ji had a great innings, and he has left behind imprints which the generations to come would cherish, celebrate, and we would always remember her as somebody who post-partition gave India the kind of standing it presently enjoys. So with this, I would like to conclude my feelings about Lataji. May God give this departed soul happiness and contentment. Namaskar.